It is day 2 of LA's massive teacher strikes. Over 33,000 teachers off the job, demanding smaller school sizes, higher pay, more resources to do their job. And we're very lucky right now on the Damage Report to be joined live from the field at the California Charter Schools Association. Judy Arteaga is joining us now.
Hi, John.
Hey, Judy, how's it going? We're very excited to have you here. So you're a teacher at the strike right now, and I want to better understand what it is that the teachers are asking for and why it is that the school district has so far held firm against those demands. So could you sum up for people who might not be familiar, what do you LA's teachers want?
I'd be happy to. So LA's teachers are asking for the resources to best support our students. We're asking for things like a reduced class size. We're asking for things like nurses on each of our campuses and more mental health and counseling support staff to help our most at-risk students.
So that all seems very reasonable to reasonable people, I think. I am curious because I've heard a lot about what the teachers are asking for in terms of pay, and often there is reference to the rising cost of simply living in LA. So as a teacher that has been teaching here for some time, how have things changed financially in your time as a teacher in Southern California?
So in my time as a teacher, our salaries have not grown to match the cost of living in Los Angeles. So for instance, just to rent apartments in Los Angeles is very expensive. And the salaries that the district pays really don't match our ability to meet the rising cost of real estate or living in Southern California. Be it LA or even moving further out as far as an hour away, which many of our teachers do just so that they can afford a place to live.
Yeah, which means that already long working days are expanded by long commutes as well. I can see behind you marchers going on there, and so I'm sure that you teachers were hoping that it would not come to this, that you would have to be in the streets. Are you mentally, physically prepared for perhaps an extended strike? How long do you see this taking?
Obviously, we hope the strike is resolved as quickly as possible, but we're not willing to concede to the demands of the Los Angeles Unified School District in terms of shortchanging our students. We are definitely prepared for this. This is something that we've anticipated coming for upwards of a year and a half, just because we have been without a contract for that period of time. And so we've really been aware that this is a distinct possibility, especially given our superintendent at this point.
Have you heard anything about negotiations being started back up? I mean, I know that the strike started because they had failed, but now that you guys are out there, you're doing this, do we have any idea that the talks might have resumed?
As of right now, we have not heard any information that would indicate these talks have resumed. Definitely not yesterday and definitely not today is my understanding.
So I am curious, from what you have heard, in terms of the parents of the kids, are they largely supportive of what the teachers are asking for? How do they actually view this strike?
Definitely. What parent wouldn't want to make sure their child is safe at school and has resources like a nurse or a smaller class size? So our parents are very supportive. If you look at the students that even attended school yesterday, less than a third of the district students even went to school. We have parents that march with us on the picket lines. We have parents that are bringing us supplies, coffee, donuts. All these things kind of bolster our membership and keep us going and really show their support for the strike and for their students.
So I don't know if you've seen, but on the show yesterday when we were talking about the strike, there's a few national politicians that have come out in support of the strikes. I mean, fairly obvious names when it comes to these sorts of economic issues. Do you expect that this sort of strike, happening as it is with such large numbers and in one of the largest cities obviously in the country, do you expect that this could become a national issue or at the very least a state issue? Do you think that Gavin Newsom might get involved at some point?
Definitely could see national involvement and state involvement, especially. Eric Garcetti has already gone on the record and asked to make sure that there's bargaining as it should be conducted and that both parties are not bargaining in the media. Facebook Live isn't a way to conduct bargaining that's sustainable for our district. So we have his involvement. We know that Gavin Newsom is aware of the situation, and we have great allies nationally as well in Kamala Harris and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. So we know that there are people who are fighting for us, both nationally and at the state level.
And now, over especially the last year, I mean, there's a bit of a history going back, but last year there were large-scale teacher strikes in a number of different states. And although they were not all uniformly successful, there were some big cases where they held strong against vicious attacks against them, and in the end, they did get what they wanted. In the lead up to this strike, did those examples from other states, did that provide any sort of inspiration or willingness to engage in this sort of thing, seeing it be successful in these other cases?
Definitely. And we know that we're proud to be part of the Red for Ed movement. We're proud to join with our union brothers and sisters and non-union brothers and sisters in a number of those states to really support public education and to make sure that people are aware of the deficiencies that exist in our schools because of the lack of funding. For instance, here in Los Angeles, you can have a science classroom that has 50 students in it. That's not uncommon. And that type of thing is happening all over the country. And to be able to stand up and to say that this is enough, we need to draw the line somewhere, and that we as teachers are willing to take that stand and to fight for what's right for our students.
So for those who might be watching this that live in LA or Southern California or even around the country, if they are supportive of your movement, what would you suggest that they do to show support, to make it more likely that the teachers union is successful in its demands?
The best way they can show their support is by reaching out to their elected representatives and the people that represent them. In LA, they can talk to their school board member. In the statewide, they can talk to Tony Thurmond, their superintendent of schools. They can talk to Gavin Newsom, and they can reach out to these people to make sure that they know that this is an important issue for the people in Los Angeles, and that starving our public schools is not something that's sustainable and not something that's going to be okay with the citizens of LA, California, and nationally.
Yeah. Well, Judy Arteaga, thank you so much for joining us, especially on short notice. Good luck in the strike, and try to stay warm out there.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Thank you very much for watching this clip from The Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.